social justice goblin. Welcome to the back creepy, like, in that I saw Hell in the Cell, the last one. Bray Wyatt. Oh my God. So good. It was shot so well. And the refereeing, I was like, what can a referee do in the Hell in a Cell? And then when the sledgehammer went down on him, boom, pop, darkness. My Russian noveling. So, I've always wondered why I stopped watching wrestling. I always thought it was because I was made smart to the business. There still were secrets back then. And I don't know what's been revealed and what hasn't been revealed since. I'll find out when I go to wrestling school. So, as I was saying, I quit watching wrestling when WCW went under. And WWE came on, and I just, even though it was some of it, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, was in his peak, and I was like, okay, but now when I watch them, I'm like, oh, he was Jesus, he was one of the greatest wrestlers ever. And no one thought anything of him. But when WCW went under, I was just like, no, I don't like how it's shot. They were transitioning the shots out. And so, the style, the old WWF style that I was used to, had changed. So, it turned my tastes off. But it seems like WWF or WWE has figured that out, because SmackDown was amazing. Hell in the Cell was amazing. It's just really good. Besides, they have Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, and I love their toy shows. So, and their name, that, I have this, gosh, I do this so improvish that sometimes the thing I'm supposed to preload does not preload, and so I can't remember it. Anyways, so, like I said, it's gotten to the point again where it is actually the point when Jim Cornette was doing it, at the height when you really could see the action. Now the revs are visible, the whole performance is just so much smoother on the WWE. But on AEW, Audrey Wilson, I'll watch any of her matches just to see the gracefulness that she is. I mean, it's just, I watch her. So, AEW they're starting okay. It took me 2 watchings to be okay with it. I like NXT, but I want to give AEW a chance because it looks cool. I mean, besides, it protects my boy Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Because they'll pop up. The second a WWF star gets released, they're going to AEW probably. But we'll see. Because there's now competition in the marketplace. And these are how kind of these wars go in the Monday Night Wars. There were defections all over the place. I mean, if you read the sheet at that era, which I was reading the sheet, you knew what was going on in the behind the scenes with all this craziness. But it took me a long time to come back. But I love SmackDown. Not so sure about Raw. Next, it's okay. AEW need to work on it. I'll give you some more chances. I see you trying. I like the dim lights. You gotta remember, I watched WWF Superstars, and they always back with the crowd because it was film. It was the bench warming stuff, to get to establish these superstars. So it was just prelim. It was jobbers getting beaten up, and so they always covered the crowd and stuff. So it gave a veil of darkness. So when they turn on the lights, it gives it that veil of more privacy and intimacy. And that, I was like, wow, they really got this down pat. I didn't feel it in Raw, but that's a different camera crew, and that might be the style that's for a different, Laps fan. Because, honestly, I was watching WWF SmackDown in the Cigar Lounge last night, and I say, hey, it's alright if I put on wrestling? And I'm going screaming, I watch wrestling. And I'm calling it wrestling and all the other things because we know it's a work. Because we smarten them up to that. I saw the video from WWE. I didn't believe it until I saw that video, and then I'm like, okay. Kayfabe? I don't know what's kayfabe anymore. And I'm about to find out. But yeah, the way they were shooting it in the Attitude Era, when you had one of the greatest wrestlers of all time that is a comeback story, who was given the worst gimmicks ever, and you're like, him? And then you see him as Stone Cold, and you're just like, holy man, he's a badass. He's Texan all the way through. He's total rattlesnake. I did watch when The Rock was there, because... So I guess I did watch after WCW was bought by WWE. God, I can't... I'm getting old remembering. Yeah, I don't know. It was well after wrestling school. But I'm back. I'm one of those kids that grew up in the 80s. They're in their 40s, putting on weight. And the WWE knows that. So my boys Kurt Hennig and Zack Ryder will be protected because, oh my God, I found Zack Ryder's whole YouTube channel that made him famous, and I saw the ending where he woke up and just basically, I had read the story and I was like, oh my God, it was true. Oh, the Major Brothers. Such an amazing. And I love their passion for wrestling toys. Because, no, I don't collect toys. Oh, Lord. You need storage space of epic proportions. And, oh my God, the display rooms. I had video games. No way. I'll have a few toys that I think are cool, and that's good enough for me. But they have the space and the passion and love for those figurines. And I love the LGN figures. One of these days I'll show you my 2 LGN figures that I have. I also have the thumb wrestlers, but I think I lost them. I think it was like the Bolsheviks. You know, I always said if I ever meet Zack Ryder, I'll just go here. He will immediately give it a fig bath. Because it needs a really bad fig bath. And I have no idea how to fig bath. And I don't think you can rescue Junkyard Dog. In fact, it would be a look of horror for you two. So I definitely have to make a video of that. But yeah, I'm back to wrestling. And it was thanks to Jim Cornette, the Major Brothers, Kurt Hennig. Oh God. Now I can't even remember the names. Preloaded like an idiot. You're supposed to wait for the last word. I practice this so much. Alright. So, where was I? Yeah. I felt YouTube got me back in. It's great to hear the old stories from Jim. God, Jim. More humor, please. And stop telling us the gates and the numbers. I know you. Yeah. Oh, I want to hear about the matches. Because I'm reading his book. This one right here that you can't see. Rags, Papers, and Pins. And when he tells his personal stories and doesn't do like the gate numbers and all that stuff in the book, those were a little slog to read through. But oh my God, the gems and the pearls, like he reprinted he made this entire magazine series, and it's totally reprinted in there, and it's amazing. And I got my Outlaw Mud Moon shirt on. So I guess this video is how I got back into wrestling, told in a weird way. With YouTube. By the way, I love the NWA. Oh my God. It captured studio wrestling at its best. I mean, that was studio wrestling. I loved it, and Jim Cornette calling it because he knows how to call studio wrestling really well. You gotta check out the NWA if you're into that style, because it's not shot WWF, it's shot more NWA-ish. You know, more. It's shot in a different style. But anyways, God, reloading. So anyways, they cracked through my wall, and I found something to love in the WWE. I don't hate them. It took me a little while to get used to their new shooting style, but it's got the crispness of the 80s in it. And like I said, my favorite time watching wrestling was when Jim Cornette was running the production chunk. Said it in other videos, I'll say it in this video. Jim Cornette revived my interest in wrestling again. He brought out that old passionate fan in me that I grew up on Abner magazines, reading how you were such a mama's boy, cheating in the Home Manager of the Year contest. Such heelish tactics. And now finding out you're just an old grouch. Oh my God. Those Abner magazines drew you up to be the biggest old mama's boy. And some say gay. I'm still trying to figure out why they think why I look like Jim Cornette. Because I was smart. And Jim Cornette is really smart. Kind of liberal. I'm kind of liberal. Anyways. Thank you, Jim. Oh, I'm going to make more videos like this. Because I love you, Jim.